Welcome back to the channel, everybody. If you haven't already, hit that like, share, subscribe button, join the VSOP Club, turn on all post notifications so you're in tune when I drop a video. And you guys can stay up to date. Today we are going to talk about R129s, and we're going to talk about values. So we're not really probably going to go into specifics on unique models, special models, like SL60, and then like Picassos and stuff like that. We're probably not going to go that deep. Just really 600, 500s, 300s, 320s, and where the values are going to go, where they are around the world, and the difference between, say, the U.S. and Europe, specifically Germany, and I think Italy, because I believe the values in both of those countries, SLs are pretty high on the 107 and on the R129. So we're going to talk about that today. I know a lot of people have been waiting for this video that follow the R129. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So yeah, I'm gonna get out the car for a minute. Show you guys the car. Those who aren't familiar with the channel, it's your first time seeing the video. So let's get out and show you the car, and we'll go from there. All right, so here we are. For those who haven't been on the channel, this is the R129 SL500. Okay, so there you go. That's a good shot. So yeah, today specifically about the values. We might actually jump into some of the tuning stuff, say, because this car does have the MAE wheels on it. We might jump into some specifics. Not all of them, or not in this video anyway. Probably make it a multi-part video because, especially with inflation and the interest rates, the values are changing, and so that's what we're going to talk about. I just really wanted to show you guys the car, those who haven't been on the channel, those who aren't familiar with the car. If you guys want to see, we did actually essentially restored this car on the channel. Not a full restore, nothing crazy like that. New wheels, did a lot of work under the hood, new wiring harness, steering damper, distributor caps, rotors. I think there's pads in the front. All the fluids have been changed in the car. We had to rebuild the front wheels. There's two new outer lips on the front wheels. Wheels in the front. Had to get new center caps because we missed one center cap, so we had to buy 4 new center caps. Yeah, so this car has had quite a bit of work done to it. I actually took it to two different places. The second place is really where we should have took it to the first time around, considering that what was wrong with it was something that a specialist really needs to look at. So we there's a lot of work that was done to this car, and it still actually has work that needs to be done to it. But we're here now. It's definitely roadworthy. Definitely looking good. Good compliments on it. If you want to know how much attention, kind of reactions that you get in an R129, go back and check. I think it's the last video I dropped. Attention and reactions that you get in the SL500 R129. So if you want a 600, a 320, 300, go watch that video, and it can give you some insight as to your kind of attention, the reactions that you get on the street when you drive this kind of car. Not going to go over that in this video, but I think for those who are interested, you'll be surprised. Again, today we are going to go into the value of where these cars are and where I think they're actually going to go. Again, a lot of you guys appreciated the Maserati, the Gran Turismo value videos, Quattraport TV value videos. So, you know, I figured why not do one on this? And yeah, so put it in the comment section what you guys think. Again, I'm thinking of making this a multi-part video. Again, because there are a lot of different versions, you know, around the world of this car. You know, tuning versions, special editions, limited editions, AMG editions. You know, it's a lot. So today, I think we're just gonna keep it at the regular, you know, the ones that you see the most, just the regular SL500, 600s, 300s, 320s. So, all right, let's get into it. All right, so I wanted to specifically talk about. Again, the value on the SL500, 600, 300, where I think they're gonna go. As you guys can see now, if you look on Facebook Marketplace, you can get a 500, you know, anywhere from, you know, I'm talking about one that doesn't need, you know, a whole bunch of cosmetic work, maybe 7,000, you know, and up. I know there are certain ones that I've seen, you know, a little bit less, but I think you could probably get, you know, basic, you know, R129. You can get in the club, you know what I mean, for about 7,000. Now that's only in certain states, guys. That's only in the Midwest, really. You know, maybe a northern state, but that's not really in like a state like New York. You know, Florida, somebody might want a little bit more for, you know, one that doesn't. I'm talking about stuff that doesn't need cosmetic work, because a lot of them, and these cosmetic work, they get cheap because they cost a lot of money to put back together, you know. But again, you can probably pick one up in probably the $7,000 range. You know, again, you're probably gonna need engine work, a few things done. Now I have seen, now this all also depends on what year. These are probably gonna be first gens, you know, in black, white, blue, you know, maybe something like that. You know, a rarer color is probably going to cost you a little bit more, because the colors in the first generations, the different colors outside of black, white, blue, and maybe red were a lot more rare in the early generations, right? So a green is a lot more rare in the early generation. You know, sky blue, burgundy, you know, a charcoal gray, they have a pale yellow, you know, there's a few different colors that, you know, were a lot more, you know, rare respect, you know. And I'll also dip into interior color too. So like the burgundy interior color, you know, say a black body or something like that, you know, you might have more of a rare spec, you know, something like that. You know, I also think, you know, the color interiors, again, will be worth a little bit more money as time goes down. As time passes, I think the color interiors, the blue, the burgundy, the green, the, I'm pretty sure that's it, right? Yeah, I think they make a forest green for the SL, you know, which is a rare color, a spec. But I think the color interiors, you know, on all those 80s, 90s Benzes will become a lot more expensive as time moves down the line, because you don't see those kind of interiors on cars today. And if you get blue, if you get one of those kind of crazy off colors, it's going to cost you more money, you know. So I think, you know, if you're going to pick up one at this point, try to get one. If you can't get black interior, you know, try to get one with a rare color interior, as it will increase the value of the car as time goes by. Again, I think you can start maybe at 7,000, you know, if you're willing to do some engine work on the car. It's not going to be perfect. If you want something perfect that you can just drive off the lot, I think you're going to have to start looking at stuff that's probably, you know, maybe 12, 13, 14, you know, in that area. And I even think at 12, you might have some kind of issue with the car. Not probably driving wise, it's probably just gonna have something like, you know, needs maybe brakes or, you know, service or something like that. We probably, I've seen R129s, and I'm talking about first gens. I've seen second gens now that were fully sorted, engine, cosmetically, and the top working. I've seen them starting at like $18,000, $19,000, $20,000 now. Those are on second gens. These are like 50, 60, 70,000 mile cars. These aren't, future Pebble Beach, 20,000, 10,000, 1,000 mile, cars like that, so, I do think, that you guys are gonna, if you want an R129, I think the time to pick one up is now. Especially if you want a second gen. I'm more of a first gen guy. I like the first gens more. Some guys like second gens though. Me, I would say, depending on which one you want, especially if you want a second gen, I would say try to pick one up now. The R129 values, again, in the US, they're starting to creep up. And they're starting to creep up. Even for the 300s, a well-sorted 300, I'm seeing them start to creep up from the dealers to about 10,000. Again, 300s were always the least desirable because of the 6-cylinder engine. That may change, due to the young generation, with the tuning and all of that. If they figure that out with that car, it may change, but, again, I do see the 6-cylinder, the sticks, starting to go up. So, the 6-cylinder was always an interesting car to me, because it wasn't powerful, but, it was just enough to get the car for it to be a cruiser, and the car was never intended to really be a sports car like that anyway. So, it's interesting that the 6-cylinder one, but, I do think, again, if you want a 300 versus 500, again, parents had a 300 back in the day. This is 500. Driving both, because I've driven both now. I do say the 500 on the highway does have more pickup if you're doing like, say, 50 and up to like, say, 50, 60. You're not really going to feel the difference between the 300 and the 500. I say the 500 sounds better, but I would say, if you're into the low, bassy grunt type exhaust, and this is really isn't even that bassy like that, it just has a certain sound that I like on the 8. The 6, I think, once you, first, second, third gear, it's a higher revving, it revs higher, so you hear the engine more, you hear the exhaust more, but I don't think you can go wrong picking either one. I did read on the forums that the 6-cylinder did have some problems with the seals, I think. But outside of that, if you could sort the car out yourself, or, you have a specialist to sort the car out, or, anybody going into this should really know that these cars aren't really that cheap anyway. So, sorting it out really shouldn't be, you should be prepared for that anyway, regardless of whatever one you pick. I have heard that the 500s are a little bit more reliable than the 300s and the 600s. I've heard the 600s, I forgot what it is with the 600s. I think something with the timing chain. I'm not sure. Put it in the comment section what issue the 600s have. I know when they're sorted and all, they're worth crazy money now. The 600s, yes. Let me actually get into the 600s. So the 600s, low miles. I think there was a guy on Facebook, and this is the most expensive 600 that I've seen in the last few months. I think there was a guy on Facebook selling it for like 120,000. Low miles, though. I think it was like 7,000 miles on it, 600 in silver. I've seen them on Car Guru 600s going for about 40,000, 50,000. This is just regular 600s. So the 600s are definitely starting to go up in value. If you have a 600, I would say, if you're looking to sell a 600, if you have a 600 and you're looking to keep the 600, definitely, keep it. I would say even buy a 500. Don't drive the 600. Keep the 600. Take it out, certain times, but drive the 500 if you want. Because the 500s, you can get a 500, fairly easily, just buy one, sort it, and drive the 500 and keep the 600. If you want to sell a 600, I would say definitely sort the 600 out first, because it'll pay for you to sort it out, when you go to sell a car. Now, I will say the 600s are definitely in the lead in terms of the 500s and 300s. I do think that eventually 300 sticks will catch up right behind the 600s. I'm not talking about AMG models, guys, and stuff like that. Again, AMG models are going to be at a different price point, above the 600, because, they're just rare, at this point. And they are, and they really are. And I think they made 3 different versions of the SL R129 in an AMG version. Put it in the comment section how many versions they made, but all of those are probably, those are gonna go into 6-figure territory if they're not already. But yeah, they're going, this is still 6-figure cars, future, those cars are going in expensive collections and stuff like that. They're rare pieces at this point. They're pieces, The 600, again, in terms of the most common SLs, again, will be in the lead. The 500, again, 600, 300 stick. This is where I see it going. 600, 300 stick, 500, 300, and maybe the 320. Why I'm putting the 320 underneath the 300 is I do think the 300 might be a little bit more rare than the 320. Put it in the comment section what the production numbers are on the 320 versus the 300. But I do think that the 320 might be more common than the 300, especially the stick. And I think the stick 300 might carry the 300 a little bit more, Also, the number 300, you see that 300 SL300 so much more than 320, and 320 kind of becomes an afterthought, unless you know the car and you've seen the car, in its day. But you still hit SL300, 300 SL due to the gold, so I think the 300 SL might carry a little bit, even if it's not as rare. I think price-wise, it'll jump before the 320. But guys who like second generation SLs might carry the 320 and help prop it up more than the 300. That'll be interesting to see. Now, the interest rates and inflation is crazy right now. So all car values are just gonna fluctuate, and drop at this point. But when things start to get back to normal, okay, as they will and as they always do. Okay, they always readjust. They always correct, right? So the values of these cars, R129s, will go up. I won't say exponentially, because there are a lot of them made. Okay, I don't think the 600 will be a 6-figure car. Okay, I do think that it might touch 60, 70, possibly, and I'm just talking about for the average. I'm not talking about super low miles and stuff like that. I do think they might touch 60, 70,000, maybe 80. I don't see it going in the 6-figure territory though. Now, if it was a sports car, right? If the 600 was more so made to be a sports car, then I would say it was going in the 600 territory. I mean, to the 6-figure territory, right? V12 sports car, definitely, going into the 6-figure territory. But because it wasn't really geared, it's really more of a Grand Tourer highway car, cruiser car, not really a 0 to 60, and the 12 is heavy, it doesn't carry it. I don't think it's going to carry it into the 6-figure category, but I do think it's going to definitely get close, definitely get close, especially as time goes by. It's definitely going to get close, especially if you have a well-sorted one, top works, everything works in the car, and it's low miles. I think you're definitely, not talking about the super low miles, but, decent mileage. I think they'll definitely touch close to 6 figures, not all the way. Now, 500 guys, again, the average 500, eventually, I do think, it's hard to say with a 500 to go because there is a lot of them made, you know. I would say rare color, eventually, these cars are going to start creeping up. I don't know, the first gen versus second gen thing is so interesting because the second gens, you can see 500s like 50, 60,000 miles at like 19, 20,000, first gens maybe a little bit less, 16, 16, 17, 15 in there, somewhere in there, unless you go into AMG versions. Now here's where it gets weird because the AMG version, first gen, is worth way more than the second gen AMG version, which is so strange to me, even if you just have the body kit on a first gen R129 AMG, the car is worth so much more money than the second generation AMG version, which is just weird to me. Somebody explain that in the comment section to me, why that is. I mean, there's probably way less production numbers on the first gen, probably way less, but at the same time, it's just so wild to me how that is. Yeah, and I think that'll always be, but it's just weird because when you go into second gen, regular, just 500, 600, the second gen is worth more, than the non-AMG, versus the first gen, so it's interesting. But I do think 500 will eventually climb as my generation gets older. I do think they'll climb into the $40,000, $50,000 range because a lot of these cars, while there is a lot of R129s, there's a lot of them that aren't sorted. And there's a lot of them, like when you sorting the R129 is not like sorting another car. Okay, and it's not, because you guys are going to see on the channel, we're about to sort of SEC, and you guys are going to see, what that's like, and it's not going to be like sorting this because there's so many more there's so many moving parts to an R129. Like you have the engine, then you have, depending on the year, which this is a 94, you have the wiring harness issue. So we had the wiring harness issue. You guys, saw me drive the car with the new wiring harness. You saw me drive the car, with the old wiring harness and how it acted. The car was undrivable. You understand what I'm saying? So if you look at those years and you just have a bad wiring harness, the car is undrivable. It's not like you can, in most cases, for most people, it's going to be undrivable. So, while they made a lot of them, there are some flaws in some of the years. Okay. Sorting the R129, you got to sort the engine. Don't have to do cosmetics and interior because the interior pieces are crazy expensive. But you also got to sort the top if it's broken. You know what I mean? And then you got to sort the roll bar if it's broken, because I've seen people that had broken roll bars that didn't work. So, there's a lot to sort when it comes to this car. There is, I think the car has 12 seals in the first gen, 11 in the second gen for the top, So you have to find somebody that actually knows how to do that. Not every person that fixes Mercedes knows how to do that. Not everybody that fixes a car knows how to fix the seals in this car. This car, it was a 90s. I looked in the online. Somebody made a post. This car was $96,000 back, when it came out. And everybody doesn't know how to fix this car. So again, while the production numbers are high, there's a lot. Not everybody knows how to fix it. It's so over-engineered, it's almost insane to get everything working on this car. Every little thing working on this car is a lot. It is. It's a lot of time. That's why, again, these the values on these cars, okay, they will go up even if they have a lot of production numbers. The production numbers are high because sorting them is very intense. It takes a lot of time. You guys saw on the channel how long it took to sort this car, and we haven't even sorted the whole thing because the soft top still is spitting hydraulic fluid now. So that's another thing that has to be done on the car. So again, it's a lot, and don't want to start adding a little touch to it, and start changing the top color and the rims, and don't have to source and sort the interior pieces, because again, we just had to do the engine and it took this long. We didn't even get to the top yet. We did the engine, we did the wheels, tires, but road-worthy work, and you guys saw how long that took. So, if you want to do, put one together and put your own touch on it and, have everything working, it's going to take you some time to get one sorted, So that's why I say the values on these cars, they will go up for one that is well sorted out, because it takes a long time, and it does. And some of the people who remember these cars from back in their time, who are retiring now, or, who don't wrench, they want to have fun, and they might not want to take all of that time. So, that's why I say, those who have an R129, 500, 600, 300, 320, if you wait for the values to go up on these cars, actually just give it some time, because they will creep. You see the AMG versions now going insane, especially on the 80s AMG versions, they're going insane now. So trust me, the 90s ones are up next. And you're even starting to see the special edition 90s AMG cars just go nuts, So, I would say, just give yourself, a little bit of time, have some patience, enjoy the car, but the values of them will go up. All SLs, the value of them goes up, and they do. All SLs, the values go up. But again, don't worry about the values of a car, guys. When you buy one of these, you can't buy one of these, okay, and want to get into one and fix it, restore it, and worry about the value after the fact, because one, it's gonna cost you so much money to sort. It's gonna be it's gonna be a headache. It's gonna be time consuming, so you can't. I would say don't buy one for that. Buy one because you actually like it. Buy one because you actually want to own one. Because it's it's going to take you some time to get to sort through this car. It's worth it. Again, you get plenty of compliments, plenty of attention. Car's reliable. Just what's weird about the car is there's so many features in it that you don't really realize that you're driving something that's 30 years old. You got heated seats. You have the only thing I don't think you don't have is the center console, and like in the new cars, Apple CarPlay, navigation, which you can put in, and heated steering wheel, and lumbar support, and all of the the driver help functions, which, if you're a car enthusiast, you might not be using too much anyway, so, again, this car was, like $96,000, so, it's probably why there's not too many features missing from, modern day cars. And this car even has features that modern day cars don't have, like I said, the auto mirror, the electric mirror here, and you got the, which a video will be dropping on. And you got the, again, we're going to drop a video on that. So you have a few features in this car that, you don't have in modern cars. So you really don't miss too much. And if you guys say add a standalone Apple CarPlay screen, I would say, try to keep a regular head unit like that comes in the car, and just add something aftermarket that you can, if you want to sell a car, take it out, something like that. There is an aftermarket head unit in this car, but this car didn't come with the it didn't come with the stock head unit. So, we weren't really again, because this is a project called my father and I, we weren't too fond of the Becker head unit and how it looked and the functions on it, so we did get a Kenwood head unit. So you got everything except, you know, navigation essentially. And you can get, you know, a standalone screen off Amazon, eBay, something like that, so that you just have the navigations portion of it if you want to use your phone, you know, and the Apple CarPlay and all of that, you know. So, you know, once you put that in here and you can put like a little portable screen, there's really nothing that you're missing, you know. So again, I would implore, if you want an R129, definitely go pick one up soon. I do see the value of these cars starting to rise when you know, the interest rates calm down and everything kind of calms, just gets a little bit calm, you know, and you know, maybe stuff, just everything calms down a little bit. You know, I do see the values of these cars starting to jump. Definitely going to be a classic car. The attention that you get in the street, you know, it's just, it screams that it's going to be a classic. You get too much attention in this car, you know, and you do. Again, go watch my attention and reactions video on the R129 SL500 to see what it's going to be like for you when you pick yours up. So that's actually going to be the end of the video, guys. Again, hit the like button for me. It actually helps the video. It helps us out in the algorithm, especially for this video, so we can get the word out there about the values and picking one up and, you know, and everything. So definitely hit the like button for me. Hit the sub button for me. Hit the notification bell button for me. But really hit the like button for me. And I'm going to get you guys in the next video. I'm out.